Court. I didn't want her to hurt you.
She was immobile.
You don't know that. She could have picked up her mouse and keyboard.
See how they gave up?
Nah, I saw you were in danger.
They fell to their knees.
I just saw you were in danger, and I don't want you to get hurt.
Everyone's being lucky. Oh yeah, fuck up.
I'm dead as fuck. Help, 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 help. Damn, no pills. Need new tanks.
You thought I wasn't looking at you? I got you, Death. Come here. Let me give you a bubble.
We need new tanks.
Oh, I'm not good. Well, shit.
See? You saw what just happened to you? I was afraid that would have happened. She would have got up and shot two mines at the floor. I was afraid she would get up and throw some mines at you and just kill you, so I took it.
Wait, what? I thought we were talking about how I just died right now.
Yeah. Well, that too. Holy shit.
Deserved.
Why are you being deserved?
Deserved.
That's crazy. No bubble? Wow.
No bubble for you? You're playing Squirrel Girl.
What?
You don't get any bubble.
That's crazy.
You're not getting any bubble. Imagine. Imagine a Squirrel Girl begging for a bubble. That's crazy.
Oh, good. I don't need your bubble. Look at that. I got him.
Oh, we're... Death, come on now, bro. Give it to you like that?
Came from hell.
She betrayed me, chat.
I've gotten multiple kills so far. I just need my...
See this, chat? Never meet your heroes, chat.
Not dying instant.
Oh my god, I actually got bubbled. That's
wow,
crazy.
guys, totally forgot I bubbled him right before this. Isn't that nuts?
You didn't bubble me before this? What are you talking about?
I bubbled you right before this.
I don't remember that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it didn't happen. That's why I don't remember it.
He doesn't appreciate my tanking, dude.
It didn't happen. That's why I don't remember it.
Invis dead. What?
Oh, it's about time
Triple
I
kill.
stepped it up.
What you mean? I'm ace. What are you guys doing?
What?
Yeah.
What are you?
When are you guys gonna step it up? The hell?
Yo.
If only I was getting bubbled.
Yeah.
If I was getting, oh shit.
You bubbled
What is it? I'm on me. Help.
Yo, no. Get him. Get him. Get him, team. Enemy team.
What the?
Yo, kill it.
I got her. Don't worry. Squirrel's on the scene. Get them squirrels. Damn, why did my Magneto not kill him instantly with one dunk?
Excuse you, I got the final hit. Final hit Steelers. Beef.
We need to bring back Lowkey baby. We need to bring her back. Lowkey baby would have instantly dunked on that kid. Or Buttercup even.
You're trying to rage bait me,
Me? Rage bait? Why would I do that?
That's what you're trying to do.
I'm the same team. Why would I rage bait you?
I mean, technically...
Cool, huh?
Yo, what's up, Tara?
Technically, baby.
See, why didn't you stun the enemy section?
So is...
Why didn't you stun them for me? Where's my DPS at?
I'm right here. I'm currently getting
It might seem unfair, but we've been
trolled
quite a bit.
by my damn support tank player or something. I don't know what she does nowadays. How was you guys stream, Sarah? I'm dead.
Oh, you're not!
That's crazy. That's crazy. No, okay. Why am I tempted? She said, no, you're not, and I still fucking died. No, you're not. This is my fucking peels I get? Your fucking weak ass bubbles.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Weak ass bubbles, bro. What the fuck?
What? You blame me for that?
Yeah. Get some stronger bubbles. What the fuck?
Damn.
Like, take some
Doesn't
vitamins
even
or something.
appreciate the thought that I try to kill him.
Because you're old. Your character's so old. Just like you.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Drink some fucking vitamin. What do old people do to be stronger? Is this guy still here? Yo, where's my bubble at? That's crazy. Wait, why? Okay, why are our supports not ulting? Yo, can we use these support ults, please?
Yeah, Gambit.
I was waiting for the Jubilee ult on.
Oh, you guys are both waiting for each other this entire time, thinking the other one's gonna go first.
I literally just got my ult 5 seconds.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, we can do it now. It's fine.
Wait for me. No bubble for you.
I'd feel some type of way if a Squirrel's talking shit. I'm not talking shit, but calming. Tell me the fucking broski. I'm dead. Magnum bubble me. Noted.
What do you bubble, Chad? Jubilee or Squirrel Girl?
I'd bubble the Squirrel Girl.
I would say Jubilee. Oh yeah, you hate your sports, dude.
The Squirrel Girl is ace. The ace is always.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's
you're
like it's like when
no
you're
wonder I don't get any pills when I play sub.
Like,
he hates his support.
I know it might seem,
dude.
I know it might seem like it's like it just automatically means you're going to.
Customer's always right. Remember, it's like that. The ace is always right.
Customer.
Yeah, the customer's always right. You ain't never heard that? It's like the ace is always right.
I'm blocking heals. I don't have a bubble for you, Jeff. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Damn. That guy got laser.
As you can see. Even when you know you have good players on your team, doesn't mean that you can automatically win every single game. But like, I've talked about this a bunch with Infernasu, but like games in higher elo aren't fun.
They are not. They are not. I played earlier. They're not fun. I won, but it wasn't fun.
There's trackers. Everyone's using trackers. They're stream sniping you or someone on your team. They're cheating through various means. They'll drop config files to cancel games lately. Or they'll use configs to give themselves an advantage. Like, if you think that there's like a competitive integrity where it's just like the higher you climb, the better the qualities get, it's the opposite. And to top it off, they're way more toxic in high elo than they are in lower elo. Like, I have never heard the same level of toxicity.
That's Murphy Peak.
Egos. Yeah.
You be a Celestial. That's Murphy Peak.
This is my 4th account, not in OAA, by the way. Like, okay, dude. So, like, even when you're a good player, like, it doesn't matter. Oh, and then you'll get Jitward or Kendrick on your team, and they'll have, like, 22 deaths and insta-log DPS, and you're just like, okay, if I win this game, it'll be 35 minutes long. Otherwise, it's just gonna be miserable the whole time through. Like,
4, 3, 2, 1.
If I had a choice, with what little free time I have, do I want to play this game with my friends in GM and lose in GM, or do I want to win in Celestial fucking 1? I'd rather lose in GM. That's just like how bad the player base is. No diamond on Emma.
Get that strange. Fucking stunned on my damn nut.
Like stream snipe how?
Oh, the damn sky.
This level discussing tally for this game, but
it was an orbital nut, chap.
Oh, I should.
Oh my god.
Not Jubilee.
That's not me, I think. I don't know. Rivals players are uniquely toxic. Just back out all the way. Don't stagger. Just give up all that space. As long as you don't die, it's fine. We can charge with Gambit ult. No. We're good. Let's just go. We have Gambit ult. I'll touch last second, okay? Going down.
Oh, he doesn't have it yet.
I mean, I wanted to get in it. Oh, mantises. Yeah, fuck you, Bucky. Fuck you. Take that.
How do I kill this dude? This Squirrel. Help! Get that guy.
Imagine every single game that you want to play in the hero shooter. You're like, I just feel like playing Rogue today. Oh, and also there's no support players in high elo at all. So you're gonna have to fill like 80% of your games, or expect to play a game with only one support, or one tank and 4 DPS. Like, truth is, GM players want to win more than Celestial players or Eternity players. And the reason why is Eternity players know that they can just get back there because
wait, extend the Jubilee, extend the thing. You're using a small version. No. Jubilee, please.
Wait, what do you mean she's using the small version?
You know how you gotta press Q to extend it? She sat in the small version the whole time.
Oh.
Yo. I don't know if she meant or knew.
Nobody wants to play support. They call it the most boosted role, but there's no support players in Eternity. And when people play the role, they're like, oh, I'm going to lose this game because I'm on support. So it's like, even if I'm good at support, it doesn't matter. You're not actually, you just watch me go up here. You're not actually going to keep that. Oh my god, you are. Okay. Strange is probably going to ult.
Or I gotta, you mean right click for him if he tries that.
I'm in trouble.
Got his ass. No ult for you, Strange. Get this girl.
It's over here. He climbed up, God. I don't know where he went.
I got his ass.
Who did?
Wait, no, I don't got his ass. He's running away. He's on the wall.
I'm literally actually like writing a video on talking about it, but it's just like every single time I climb on main, I just people troll. They tilt. They have someone on your team they don't like.
Oh goodness gracious.
What's wrong, Squirrel? I got bullied by a lie. I wanted to play support, but then she bullied me. Oh, I'm dead. So now I'm forced to play Squirrel Girl. I'm locked in jail.
Ain't no way that hits me. Who does that?
My support wasn't appreciated.
Fuck, dude.
Nah.
Not the best.
Infernos is spinning the wheel again. I know it. That doesn't sound like all bad results. No, it's sad. It's miserable.
Definitely gonna ult the death ticket. Oh yeah.
DPS jail? No, I'm in Squirrel Girl jail.
We are undefeatable.
Hella's just, she's poking on the right.
What's up, Doozy?
Shit, dude.
I can't touch that.
Angry.
This is real firepower. Final score: 1-2-2.
Like,
That's for the 49.
sucks that like the competitive integrity in this game is so ass. Because like I want you to imagine this: the first game you play, someone throws because they don't like the guy that's on your team. The next game you play, the enemy team doesn't have.
Yeah, DPS. Why the hell did
Why didn't you just ask?
Yeah, the enemy team doesn't have supports. You play a game after that, Black Cat gets